The 2014 elections will be remembered as a historic one in the Indian political scene. Prime Minister Narendra Modi rose to power with a mandate that no party had won on its own since the 1984 Lok Sabha elections, when the Congress won a landslide victory after the death of Indira Gandhi. On the other hand, India's oldest party, the one that had been in power for most years since the country's independence, recorded its lowest tally in the Lok Sabha ever. The Congress campaign was led by party Vice President Rahul Gandhi. PM Modi's juggernaut, however, didn't end there. In the 2019 elections, Modi returned to power by an astonishing margin, defying expectations, leaving the political opposition gutted by securing nearly two-thirds majority.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी.
The election also proved how wildly popular Modi is, and his popularity rating is only increasing. Amidst the pandemic, his popularity soared to 83 to 93% as per various surveys, signifying that the country has confidence in his leadership. The rise in popularity of Narendra Modi, first as a Chief Minister of Gujarat and then as a Prime Minister, is said to have ruffled a lot of feathers in the Indian political scene. The mandate for Modi was significant for another reason. It completely rejected the cacophony of what is described as Khan Market Gang or the Lutyens Gang, the pseudo-secular liberal cartels that had held a disproportionate sway and stranglehold over the intellectual and policy establishment of the country. Many see Modi's rising popularity as a threat to this so-called lobby and even the opposition parties that are now facing a survival crisis. Many have tried to challenge and stop Modi's electoral and governance juggernaut, with the Congress family leading the pack, but in vain. In the run-up to 2019 elections, Rahul Gandhi ran a shrill campaign alleging corruption in the Rafale fighter jet deal with France. The campaign had a heated exchange of words from both the major parties, with Gandhi taking a Chaukidar Chor Hai jibe at Modi.
Chaukidar! Chaukidar!
It resonated with a large section of the media, lawyers, activists, and Khan market cabal, who were seen to have taken up the cudgel on Congress's behalf to paint the Rafale deal as a scam tainted without any evidence. Country's top court, after reviewing the deal, did not find any wrongdoing. The campaign also proved to be a misleading and a slanderous one, when Gandhi submitted an unconditional apology in the Supreme Court for attributing his political slogan, Chaukidar Chor Hai. This was one of the many campaigns against Modi, which the political commentators and analysts observed as following a modus operandi of what they call as the hit and run tactic. In the last few years, Modi has been attacked on a range of issues that have eventually proven to be baseless by the top courts. Now consider this. The biggest and the longest running allegation against Modi has been around his role in 2002 Gujarat riots when he was the Chief Minister. Despite the courts and special investigation teams giving him a clean sheet, the campaign against Modi kept on for over a decade till he became the Prime Minister, post which the noise on this issue reduced but was replaced by new slanderous campaigns. This was followed up by a series of other campaigns against Modi, from being called Soot Boot Ki Sarkar,
आपकी सरकार सूट बूट की सरकार है,
to being in cahoots with country-fled businessmen like Vijay Mallya and Modi. From rigging elections, using EVM to faking surgical strikes in Pakistan, the list is lengthy. What is surprising is that none of these allegations hold true in the court of law, but are still being propagated under the radar. We did a cursory check on the social media platform Instagram and found a slew of handles still running these slandering campaigns. Now, many commentators have observed a trend of smear campaigns against Modi's image and personal life. What started by the Congress President Sonia Gandhi in 2007 by calling Modi Maut Ka Saudagar was later made a mainstream slogan, and eventually many personal jibes were made on his caste, his background and personal life.
सच्चाई ये है कि आज गुजरात की सरकार चलाने वाले झूठे बेईमानी डर और मौत के सौदागर हैं।
लेकिन यहाँ आकर चाय का वितरण करना चाहते हैं तो हम उनके लिए कुछ जगह बना रखते हैं।
गली गली में शोर है, यूपी में शोर है, बिहार में शोर है।
प्रधानमंत्री जी की डिग्रियां फर्जी हैं।
मुझको लगता है कि ये आदमी बहुत नीच किस्म का आदमी है।
The strategy against Modi can be best summed up in this interview by Rahul Gandhi when he spoke about his intentions of targeting PM Modi's image. Modi, over the years, has emerged as India's tallest leader with a strong image. He has a cult around him since his days when he was the chief minister, and his image has grown only stronger after becoming PM. He is emerging as India's biggest mass leader. With very little maneuver left for the opposition to target Modi on governance-related issues, the strategy of targeting his image is becoming more and more institutionalized. The angle of Modi's educational degree and the question of whether he sold tea as a kid during his childhood days is one such topic institutionalized into the mainstream. Both these topics have been debunked innumerable times. The issue, however, keeps cropping up again and again and again. As analysts point out, the pattern is similar. Throw an allegation, popularize into mainstream, forget after it's proven wrong. Keep under the radar propaganda pages running these and bring back the topic again after some time as a rhetoric. From being called intolerant to being a fascist, from a murderer to being positioned as Hitler, from niche to chore, Prime Minister Modi surely has a big problem, and that is fighting a misinformation campaign against his image.